Vinny Minett, Director of Investments in the Strategic Advisory Team at WSP New Zealand. Within my team, I focus on funding and financing, strategic procurement advice, economic analysis, and delivery of business cases. It's an interesting question because people often say it in one big sentence, one word. Funding and financing sort of rolls off the tongue. They are fundamentally different things. Funding is the sources of revenue that actually go to paying for the infrastructure that you're building or the project that you're delivering, whereas financing is the mechanism by which you apply that. So a really easy way to think about it is there's really only three broad buckets of ways to fund projects. There's taxes, where everybody pays, and there's rates, where a subset of people pay, and there's user fees, where only the direct users of a project or a piece of infrastructure pay for that asset. Financing, on the other hand, is the way you use that funding to actually pay for a project. Generally, infrastructure in New Zealand is paid for in what we would term fairly traditional means. The government largely funds and finances infrastructure, funds through taxes, and then finances through issuing government debt, raising government debt. We have had some examples in the past with private finance being applied to core government infrastructure, things like the public-private partnerships that were delivered in the schools, prisons and roads. But other than that, generally it's fairly traditional. We're going backwards at the moment. I think there's lots of big numbers thrown around about infrastructure deficits. I think the $1 trillion number got thrown around recently, which is a terrifying figure. I think you need to look at what different financing options can bring. And there's lots of benefits and costs to different private financing options, and it's figuring out which one works for you. Private finance can be a great mechanism to allocate project risks more effectively. Things like public-private partnerships are a great way to transfer whole-of-life performance risk to the private sector. It can be also a way to access different capabilities and bring more capacity into the New Zealand market to deliver. Really, the best approach is to use the whole suite of tools we have, and we have quite a few, and figure out which one best suits the project, the owner, the market that you're looking at. I think the answer is New Zealand should look everywhere. New Zealand has a tendency to look to Australia, really looking as far abroad as we can and learning as many lessons as we can is probably our best course of action. I think the best thing that New Zealand can do over the next little while is figure out which examples could work and figuring out how those might apply in the New Zealand context.